Hey, hi guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Why does hi guys and don't forget to like and subscribe? Why is that a thing? This is the modern world that we live in. Those are the kind of sentences that people are working with. Here another sentence. Oh, hold on, it's my earpods. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh, it's my earpods. Lord, my God, Jesus, if I hear that conversation one more time, do you not know that earpods are blowing up in people's ears? You not couldn't listen to the phone without earpods before. You used to have a thing with a bit of string. The bit of string's gone now. No, hold on, my earpods. My Lord, literally, that is a thing. That's a proper conversation. Even before hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I hope you guys are good. I'm not getting too caught up in the technology. I want to have a proper chat with you guys today about what's happening in the schools. There's a lot of fuss about a new part of the curriculum that's been brought in, but we're not just going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the whole aspect of what happens when your child goes to school. Now, for me, my concept is the school is a babysitter for 6 hours. Whatever my child picks up at school, if it is going to be of a positive benefit to my child, all well and good. Anything that is not going to be positive and beneficial to my child, I eradicate as soon as they come through the door. Because here what I do, as you know, I'm there when they come home through the door, and I notice stuff. I notice behaviour patterns. I notice dialogue. I notice habits. I notice when they're hungry. I notice when they go to the toilet. I notice everything. So I know when you come home from school and your bursting to go to the toilet, I always ask Finale, the little one, why didn't you go to the toilet at school? Because she never uses the toilet at school. Some children are in this class talking about they need to go to the toilet every minute as an excuse. My child doesn't do that. Okay, I'm not saying my child's the greatest for doing that. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying habits of what happens when your children are at school. That was just one example. For instance, your child will come home. We do after school snack. Standard thing, because you don't have lunch until what, 1 o'clock, in between 12 and 1 o'clock. By 3, 4 o'clock, you're starving. Literally. I don't know what happens with the lunch at school. If you're on FSM, free school meal, then the child will get a detention. That's how it works. So when your child talking about they got a detention, mum, I always ask, what for? I am interested in the profile of my child's detentions, what the reason for getting detentions are. If I find my child's getting detentions for being disruptive in the class, that's a straight discipline at home. That's a VIO. You don't go to school and be naughty. So when you're on the road, you know how to behave. That's supposed to be the way round it is, yes? All that mouth they give you with the back chat and stuff, they still got the same mouth to ask you, Mum, I need some more stuff for school. And if you find those questions aren't coming in and you find those detentions are being given for lack of equipment, then you need to address that, no? At your little weekend, when you find the time, when you're not busy working, you can go out and buy your child some equipment so that that doesn't happen again. Okay, good. Sometimes you might get a detention for not wearing the right uniform. You know your child's got the right uniform. You know that because you bought it. That should be the case. Even if you didn't buy it, somebody passed it down to you second-hand. I go second-hand shop at the school. Oh, my days, I don't even think I've told you about this before. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to press the little pause button. I'm going to get into it. Here, who's in the second-hand school shop more than anybody? All the women with the big houses that live down on the roads. Forget about the estate people. No, we're dumb. We're going to the school uniform shop and buying it brand new. Yeah, because we ain't got sense. Anyway, they tried to get me. And I went to the second-hand uniform shop when winter started year 7. I thought I was early. It started at 3 o'clock. I got there at about 10 to 3. Early which part? Cute place ram already, bruv. All the middle classers, all there way before me. I got the dregs, and that's what I deserve because I got there late. You see, next academic year when Finale started, the next academic 2 years later, no. I was there before the people set it up this time. Because you're not playing with me like that again. I got to choose my second-hand stuff, which ended up being brand new that I paid a fraction of the price for. So there is no excuse for my children not to have the correct uniform. Now it's about a choice of how they wear that uniform that you've provided for them. It doesn't matter how. So you know that your shirt is supposed to be tucked in. You know your tie is supposed to be done up to the top button and there's not supposed to be your top button showing. You know you're supposed to have your blazer on. You know that the jumper is optional. Your trousers are not allowed to be baggy down in your bottom. I don't know why those boys want to do that. Apparently, when you go to jail, the lower down your trousers are, it's the more of a batty man you are. So I don't know how that works. Anyway, and your shoes are supposed to be all black. Okay, we deal with that. So these are all things that are getting detentions are being given for, in my eyes, are not my responsibility. The responsibility of all that doesn't lie with me once I've done what I'm supposed to do. So then it's down to the child, but which goes to show once the child leaves the house, it has its own mind. Good. Lessons start. So we've had the line up, the lessons start. What takes place in the lesson? What is being taught in the lesson? Does anybody know? Are you aware of the stages of the curriculum when it comes to geography in year 10? Are you aware of the stages of the curriculum when it comes to PHCSE in year 7? Are you aware of the discussions that take place in certain lessons? Are you aware that certain lessons have no right or wrong answer? Are you aware that if your child wants to be good at English and geography, or RP, which is religious something or another, they need to be good at English? Do you know that? There is no point in taking up certain subjects that require a lot of writing if you're not good at English. So these are things I'm telling you. You're either a child watching it at that age, or you're a parent watching it at that age, maybe about to be a parent. You've got some nieces and nephews. Anyway, whatever I'm telling you, you're learning something, because I'm sure it's stuff that you might not, or you might not be aware of. Especially us community people, we don't take enough time to actually understand what's going on at this establishment that we send our children to for 6 hours a day. Most of them have left the house for a working day, which is up to 8 hours, because of travel. We spoke about this quite recently. That's why they invented catchment areas, to reduce the journey from school to home. Okay, good. Some people took notice of it, some people didn't. Anyway, when it comes down to the lessons, the content of the lesson is usually planned by a teacher 6 weeks in advance. 6-week plan is designed, every teacher needs to design before the end of every term or half term. You realise, yeah, that the school year comes in 3 terms. It comes in an autumn term, which is September to December. It comes in a spring term, which is January to Easter. It comes in a summer term, which is Easter to the summer holidays. That's how the school years run. So that's 3 terms, and within those 3 terms, you have a half term. People are saying every minute is a school holiday. No, the school year doesn't run for that long. It's not a year. It's just an academic year from September till July. Within that September to July, there are 6 holidays. They run every 6 weeks, because everybody needs a break after 6 weeks. The parents, you need a break from doing the school run. You need a break from being up. You need a break from basically being in school night mode. So the holidays come to give everybody a break. The children need a break from studying. The children need a break from actually being pulled away from that environment and having some time in their foundation, wherever that is, whatever you created for them. Good. Okay, so during the 6-week lesson plan, a teacher will sit down based on the guidelines of the curriculum, because not every school follows guidelines. Some schools do not follow guidelines at all. They have their own guidelines, whether it's governed by religion or beliefs and values, okay? All the academies that have popped up recently, they are not government-run schools. They are schools that people have picked up and said, let's put some money together. They've got funding and they have managed to get a school together. They collate the clientele that they want to come to their schools. There's one down in Isleworth. It deals with just Sikh people. There's one in Acton. It deals with Islamic people. Yeah? Things are happening out there, and people are realising that in order to set the foundation they want, they need to create it. Good. This is the bit now that I'm going to challenge. This is the bit that I'm going to get out of my trolley on. This is the bit I'm going to get a bit mad on. If you want to have any control about what your child is learning at school, yeah, you need to teach your child yourself. You need to make sure that happens. Otherwise, you have zero control. Do you know why? The education your child is getting is free. Yeah? It's been designed to fit all. It's not been designed specifically to meet the needs of your child. You are designed to meet the needs of your child. Specifically, you have been designed for that. So if you don't want to take up that responsibility, you cannot be blaming anybody else that is teaching your child that your child might be listening to. You can't blame them. They just got into a job. They've just decided to go and work at a school that's been there since the 1800s. That's all they've done. They're following some guidelines that comes in a little, comes on an email, on a PDF, or however it comes on a file from the government. Right, good. I'm not sure if any of you will be aware of where I'm going with this, but it's a hot topic and it's a thing that I've seen all over the place this week especially, and last week actually. For a while I've been seeing it. Listen, we live in a society of multicultural people. London is slowly, there won't be any white people here soon, full white. It's definitely going to die out. Good. Those people are made up from all sorts of values and beliefs. Now, my thing on value and beliefs, it comes from influence. Nobody has their own values and beliefs that they start for themselves from creation of their own. They picked up something from somewhere. Doesn't matter where. Good. This LGBTQ thing, yeah? Gays and lesbians, transgenders and all other sorts of frilly things, yeah, has come into the world. These people, yeah, they're humans. They've been made by the creator, just like everybody else, yeah. These human beings have decided they don't want to take no more shit from people. They don't want to be abused no more. They want to get a little body together that protects them. They've done very well. The only thing I can literally say is us blacks must be jealous of that. Us blacks must be jealous, and I say us blacks, us community people. I won't put it down to just blacks, yeah? Community, yeah, need to open the mind more. Don't close it. While we are having this conversation right now, don't say, she's chatting shit, man. I don't agree with this. I don't. You can say it, but hear me out. Okay? We must be jealous. Hear why we must be jealous. We ain't managed to get a little body for ourselves together yet. We ain't managed to get a whole organisation together to protect us yet. So what? Are we being bad mind to the people that have? Regardless of their sexual preference, regardless of their gender preference. Are we being bad mind towards the people that have? I'm going to tell you something, and I'm going to tell you straight, and this is true, and this is right. When us blacks came over, yeah, to create community, and to create the Urban Dictionary, and to create all things trendy that everybody wants to follow. When we came, we weren't liked. We were spat on. We were fought. We were beaten. Yeah? We were abused verbally. We were abused financially. Everywhere we went. Even when the yardies came and fought everybody off, it still happens to today. It's 2023. Do you know, and do you think, and do you believe, yeah, you can put all the three to one. Somebody told me today that you never know anything you believe. Well, let's have them in all different categories. And some of you will know, some of you will have an idea, and some of you will absolutely, for a fact, think about it and say, yes, she's right. Do you know when people were being educated about black people, yeah, because they had to be educated about black people. We were new in town, yeah. There was an uproar that we were here from people that didn't like us because they knew nothing about us. They protested, yeah. They've got organisations against us, yeah, because they wanted us out, and that's from here all over the West. They didn't want anything to do with us. Okay, good. When things like Black History Month came out, Black Panthers, the actual Black Panthers, the organisation, when Martin Luther King started talking, why do you think that people aren't here now? For the same reasons, yeah, that the LGBTQT are getting gunned down, yeah, the same reasons back then we were getting gunned down. Them times there, LGBTQ were in closet, in the dark, not daring to breathe. Because if human beings with a different colour skin are not coming out, yeah, and can't get away with things and cannot get equal rights, who are we? They were still in the closets back then, yeah? Try no, you never knew any gay people. Not openly anyway, except for the two that lived next door to me. They were on it, boy, when I was a kid growing up. Anyway, people would come home and say, we've learnt about blacks today. We learnt that there's a place called Africa. What do you think grandparents and parents were doing? You see the uproar? Why do they need to learn about blacks? Why do they need to learn about all this black culture and all the rest of it? What they get? Listen, we were getting rinsed in the background. Unbeknown to us. The same way that you lot are rinsing LGBTQT. No different. Hear what we want. We want inclusion. We can't just have inclusion for ourselves. Inclusion means exactly that, for everybody. Don't get me wrong, I'm fully heterosexual. I am fully agreeing with reproductive society. Hear what though? I also understand that as a man, if you are gay, it is usually scientifically, biologically proven that you are born that way. And that you literally cannot help it the same way I cannot help being black. I don't know how much of that is true. I don't know how much it isn't true because I'm not gay. However, I have gay people in my family. Yeah? And I can tell you straight that lesbians, yeah, we'll go with a different stance. Lesbians are usually bisexual by nature. What happens with a lesbian is halfway down the line, half of them, because there's another half that think they're men, half of them decide they're not interested in men anymore. And they need that woman that thinks she's a man to come and look after them. That works out beautifully. Okay, good. Why is it that community don't seem to have a problem with lesbians? Why is it it's okay for my female family member to come around with her friend who is intimate with her and do all kinds of things that are not preferable to me or anybody that's heterosexual? How come that's okay? But as soon as two men walk in, it's a different story. What is that about? So a woman can dress up to be a man. It's not offensive. When a man dresses up to be a woman, it's offensive. How so? I know I'm going to hear your comments. You're going to let me know. But I just don't get it. I don't get what I've just said. I don't understand. A woman can go round, trousers, suit, tie. And it's fine. If anything, I look stylish. I look classy. A man cannot wear a wig, bit of makeup, dress, skirt, blah, blah, blah. Weirdo. How? Okay, good. We've established we have these people in the world. We've established how they come about. Your child goes to school. There's a lesson called PHSCE. It means physical, social, Basically, it's social studies. What I grew up with is social studies. They changed the name because, again, they want to include more subjects within that lesson. So in year 7, yeah, which is the start of secondary school, when you're just getting to know, yeah, they're starting to now teach, yeah, about gays, lesbians, yeah. They're starting to teach about sexual positions. When I was at school, they had a book called The Joy of Sex. It had bare sexual positions in it, but it was portrayed to be that lovemaking was a very nice thing and that people only done it to have babies, etc., 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 which was a total myth. Which is why half my blasted generation went away and had very young teenage pregnancies because of the lack of sex education. You think you could get my grandma to talk about sex? Which part? Tell you to stop talking your stupidness. When my children talk about sex, I stop them and tell them that sex is a very, very serious thing. Because if it wasn't for sex, who would be here? The 0.005 of test tube babies. That's it. That's all the world would consist of. Okay, good. So sex education, you have to agree, is 100% necessary. Good. What do you suggest should happen in these sex education lessons that they shouldn't talk about sex? What should they talk about? What do you expect from a sex education class? They are going to talk about sex. Duh. Do you know what happens in sex? People give blowjobs. Yeah. You know, girls are getting oral sex for men. Yeah. Oh my God, you lot acting so primitive. Open your mind. Don't close it. We are living in a world where LGBTQ has its own society. How do you want your child to find out about that exactly? Are you going to tell them? Because if you was going to tell them, you wouldn't be complaining that by year 7, when your child is big 11 or 12, they don't know about a blowjob. You're telling me that they don't. And the first place they're going to hear about it is with the teacher. And then when they do hear it with the teacher at the first place, the teacher's wrong. Think about what you're saying. Why have you not told your child what a blowjob is? Why do you not dictate what your child picks up and what your child knows about sex education before they get to school? You lot are making me mad, bruv. Because you got bare time to chat shit on bloody TikTok. Instead of doing that, sit down, educate your child. Give your child a sex education lesson that you think is appropriate. No, I don't want to do that. But you want to cuss the school for doing it. Shut your mouth. Shut up. Fool. Seriously. LGBTQ is a thing, bruv. What are you going to do? Abolish it? What are you going to do? Yo, you don't want to accept it. They didn't want to accept blacks. But we're here and get used to it. Part of the world, part of the UK, part of London. You want your child to be ignorant to that? Mum, what's LGBTQ? They should be asking that when they're 5. They should know what lesbians and gays are. Most people have got lesbians and gays in their family. What are you lot doing? Hiding it from your child? You're hiding your child from real life. Well, you're the idiot because you're the one that your child is going to ask, why didn't you tell me? Think about what I'm telling you. Okay, I've seen some bits that may be slightly inappropriate, but no more inappropriate than when they show boy in the blue pajamas, boy in the striped pajamas. That was a disturbing film. It doesn't matter if you agree with Jews and Nazis and Adolf Hitler and you care about it or not, the film was still disturbing. Because you know what? Life is disturbing. Things that take place in life are disturbing. The quicker your children get used to that, the better prepared they will be later on as adults. Things won't faze them as much. You find when people are fazed by things, that's how anxiety and stress build. They don't know what's coming next. They're not sure about it. Don't leave your children ignorant to sex and sexual positions and what happens when sex takes place, whether it be good or bad. Do not leave your children ignorant to that. My children hate me talking about anything like that. That's their business. I'm not here to be liked, fam. And nor are you. You're here with a duty of care to that child, to prepare that child to manage for later on in life. That is your duty. Some people pay people to do that for them. Some people expect the school to do it for them. So whatever happens in that damn place for 6 hours, you have got no right to complain. You have sent your child there by choice. I've given you some other options of what else you can do other than send your child to school. I've got a little video to show you.
Okay. This is what I found in the library on Kauai. And it's really atrocious. These are just some of the few books I found. I mean, I couldn't bring them all from Kauai. This is one of them, What Makes a Baby. In this book, there is no babies anymore.
Right, she said in this book, there's no bodies, there's just uterus and sperm. Well, what else did it take to make a baby? Right, so why? Right, we've got all these books with bodies, yeah, already. There's loads of books with bodies. Everybody knows that uterus belongs in a body near the womb somewhere. Yeah? We're not doing a biology lesson. We're doing where do babies come from. Babies come from your uterus, your womb. What does it take to make a baby? Sperm. Does that sperm need to come directly from a man's penis in this day and age? No. Does that baby need to be born in a woman's body in this day and age? No. So there's nothing wrong with the book so far.
Gardeners is a book that's telling kids they could be on the wrong body. This is for 3 years old.
They could be in the wrong body.
In the wrong body. This is for 10 years old. 10 years old, you guys.
By 10 years old, yeah, if your child's got a phone, he's already watching porn. Stop it. These are little cartoons in a book. Do you know what porn is? It's real life stuff. Do you know who gave him the phone? You.
Whether it's heterosexual or homosexual,
I don't care. I don't care. This is not for a 10-year-old, you guys. Anybody has children?
Who's she to decide what's certified for a 10-year-old or not? Who is she to decide in a book with cartoon characters of people having different sexual positions? There is a blowjob in there. There is a man on top of a man. I don't care. It's real life. You can go on YouTube right now and type up men sucking man's penis. So an image will come up. Is your child's phone on parental lock? Have you got settings thing where you can put what certificate your child watches? Have you got it on 12 if your child's 10? Have you got it on a U if your child's underage? Have you checked that out? Who's a member of the library these days anyway? Hardly anybody. This woman looks like she's gone on a little witch hunt and found these books. These books have been written and published. They're not illegal. Now it's a choice whether you take it off the shelf and read it or not. She's taken it off the shelf. She found these books in the library. Who has got access to that book? Who's looked at that book? She thinks it's not okay. So what if she thinks it's not okay? And?
This is genderqueer. Sorry, you guys, but this is... I'm going to show it to everybody.
She's just...
Oral sex.
She wants
We have to be showing this kids section in the library. And this is in the schools. This is in the schools. Is this okay, you guys? I'm sorry. I'm a mom, your boys. This shouldn't be seen by little kids. So I know that the representative left, but...
Oh, listen, this woman's foreign and this country's pathetic. She's deciding what should be in the library and what shouldn't. Surely the book shouldn't have been published in the first place if it was so damn bad. Why isn't it banned? It's called something queer. And it's about time gay people started calling themselves queer and understanding the language that is used with regard to them. Because you lot have been hiding it long enough, speaking about them behind their back for long enough, saying all kinds of things. Now everything's become more open and a bit more liberal. Everyone's starting to say stuff now. Shut up. This kind of stuff has been going on for ages. You go to the library right now, you go to certain sections and you will see inappropriate stuff that you think is inappropriate for your child, that your child ain't even reading. Her child ain't reading that. Nobody's reading that book. That's why it's in the library. If it was a popular book, why isn't it out? Why has she come nitpicking? She thinks that it shouldn't know it. Blah, 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 blah. But if you don't decide who writes books, what illustrations go in books, what book gets published, what books get put on the shelf, and what books go to the library, you don't decide. Who are you? You need to wind your neck in. A lot of people need to wind your neck in. You got too much to say, you ain't doing shit about it. My children can't come and tell me about they want to be a boy because I set some foundation in their backside from early to make them know you're a girl and you will stay a girl. All what this world is telling you, you'll always be a girl. Inside, you'll be a girl. All that you want to change yourself to being a man. And I hope that when I went to the gym the other day, I did not see a man trying to be a woman in my section of that says females, you know. I hope I didn't see that, because that's another story again. It's fine if you want to change your gender and this and that and go hospital, have operation and all that. Stick to your place in the changing rooms, yeah? There's a massive thing going on. There's a massive thing going on about it with regard to sport. That's another story. We're not talking about that now. We're talking about this. So, yeah, my view, yeah, my opinion, from what I know, yeah, is that we're in the world, gentlemen and ladies, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, whatever you want to call yourself, non-binary, whatever the names are that I can't even pronounce because I don't care about them, because what you are is down to you, yeah. We are living in a world that has gone upside down. Half of it you approve of, yeah, like the phone, the phone being your main source of contact. Anybody who wants to find you, they can find you by this device. You give it to your children. You go out to work all day. You let your children do what they like, this and that, blah, blah, blah. You send them to school, and then at the end of it, you complain. You lot, yeah, need to shut up. Honestly, I've had enough of it all. Seriously. I saw the transgender acrobat. Problem I've got with all these things, the parents are there. If there's an event going on like that at school and you feel that you don't want your child to be there, yeah, if you know it's going on beforehand, don't send your child to school. They got drag queen hour now. They used to have Rasta Mouse hour. How many people do you think were in uproar about that? Rasta Mouse used to taste the cheese. In community, we all know what cheese is classed as. Do you think that there weren't people out there saying certain things about when Rasta Mouse was on BBC? Do you not think there was a whole boycott of people boycotting against it? Open your mind. Don't close it. Very important to do that in order not to get so stressed out, because this stuff's happening anyway, like it or not. And I really, really mean that. And there ain't much you can do about it, because majority rules usually, and the majority of people are up for it. They're up for it. You signed, you get a pack before you go into school. Before you go into nursery, a whole heap of information comes to you, and that nursery pack, it takes your child to that early stages stage. And what you sign, what you've read, and what you agree to is what's going to be implemented. They're not joking when they put it in writing. And when it's all taking place now, just because you signed that form so long ago, like last year when your child was starting nursery in July, and now it's big September, or whenever your child has been staggered in, it might be beginning of October, you don't now agree. Too late. You signed yourself away ages ago. You signed yourself away. Every day you're doing it, doing the same thing. And when they bring out their little things that you signed yourself away to, you don't agree with it. Can you at least think ahead then? If you're not going to open your mind and you're not going to stop signing things that you haven't read. Think ahead. Know it's coming. Even if you've got one child, you know the forms that you have to fill out. You know the next child, the forms are getting, there's going to be more stuff added to it because the world's becoming more open. And when I say more open, I mean anything goes. More and more and more these days. People can be who they want to be. People can look like how they want to look like. People can perform surgery, physical surgery, to change themselves. They have been doing it for a long time. How come it's all right to go to Harley Street and, oh, my boyfriend, he bought me these? How come that's okay? How come it's okay to go and get your lip puff out? How come it's okay to stick permanent stuff on your face? How come all of that is okay, but it's not okay for a man to dress in woman's clothes and come and read a story to your child? What faith do you lose in your parenting skills and you as a person, that you think that 6 hours a day and a lesson for 40 minutes, yeah, is going to turn your child into a gay? All it's raising is awareness. Raising awareness. There are gays out there. There's a whole group of them. And they all come under one heading, LGBTQT. We, as the blacks and community, we should all be coming under one heading, but we can't. We ain't managed to get it together yet. Have we? Don't grudge people that have. Don't do that. Don't do that. They bloody worked hard to get. They've all got radio station and everything. They've worked hard because they're serious about what they do. They're serious about their beliefs and their values. And they're putting them forward. And government have to listen. We ain't done that yet, have we, community? Government ain't listening to us yet, are they, community? Anyone complain about such a powerful movement? You ain't got a bloody leg to stand on, so you might as well just shut up from now. If you want to have a leg to stand on, build your legs. Like they have done. You have to build that. First of all, it comes with unity. We ain't good at that. They said that we've been conditioned not to be united. Up to now, all the decades and the centuries that have gone past, we can't get ourselves out of that yet. Seriously. Come on. We're making excuses time after time. We're being distracted by what other people are doing. We're blaming. We're not looking about ourselves. Always looking about what next people are doing. Forget that. It's not getting us anywhere. We need to come with solutions, not problems. This woman here coming in her little hat. Look at that way the man's looking at her. He's looking at her like she's an idiot. She's gone and picked all these books off the shelf and come to the people to complain. What can they do? They can't do nothing for her. They can't help her. All they can do is pacify her and patronise her and send her on her way. If she wants to do anything about it, she'll have to go to every library in the country and burn all those books. You borrow them and never bring them back and go pay the fine. If you want them off the shelves that much, if you think it's so not appropriate, what do you think the people behind the desk can do? Stupid woman. Anyway, that's my little rant for today. And it was a rant because I'm fed up of the ignorance. The ignorance is what is miseducating people. Yeah? And making people think what's something going on that it's not. How are you sitting there thinking the school is trying to get your child to be gay? It's your job to make sure your child is what they are. What if your child is gay? What if your child is born gay? What if your child is a boy and he was born gay? What then? That may be what you're scared of. That's too bad as well, brother. There's nothing you can do about that. None of your business what people want to do with their sexual parts and who they want to go with and who they don't want to go with and their preference of what colour they are. It's none of your business. It's personal to the person that is doing it. Set up your foundation, set up yourself, set up your yard, set up your child so that no matter what happens, for those 6 hours, it will not influence your child. It will not play a part in your child's beliefs and values. Peace out, people. Take care. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay, good.